Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Ne Crochet Tejido. Today I'm going to teach you how to do this beautiful stitch. It's a small shell stitch. It's very easy to do. I hope you guys like it. I give it a try, and here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you are not already a subscriber, please subscribe and click the little bell. That way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see the video in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel that you'll find the English version in there. Also, you can send me a message and I can send you the link. And at the end of each video, I leave a playlist with all my English tutorial. This one that I have here already made is for a blouse, but that will be for a different video. And this video just want to show you how to do the stitch, and it looks amazing. For this one, I used this one from Loops and Thread, Cambria Big. I bought them at Michael's. It's 100% acrylic and I have 454 grams or 1,470 meters. So it's a lot in here. And it's fine too. For this one, I use the yarn double. So I will talk about this one in a different video when we're gonna do the top. So I have some swatch here that I already made. This is exactly the same yarn as the Cambria Big, but different color. They have a smaller ball of yarn as well as the big one, and they have white, gray like this one. They have the coral, they have a very darker blue and a light green, almost a green like this one. So I have these ones here. I have this one that is made with a different yarn, and so is this one. So look at the different, all of them have the same amount of motif. The only thing that this one have 2 stitches for the border and on each side, and this one don't. Okay, so with this one I use 2 size knitting needle, a size 7mm for the right side and a 6mm for the wrong side, and it's not as stretchy as this one that is done with 7mm, because in the back the stitches are smaller. But this yarn is like it have really nice elasticity, so for sweaters or pullover, it's perfect, or blouses. So it's a fine 2 yarn. Even that I did double, use double, it's still really nice and light. So for this one I use 7mm, exactly the same, different color. So these 2 are the same. This one I use is a blend of bamboo and cotton. Again, I use the yarn double because this one is like a fine 2 as well. And this type is perfect for summer tops. It's this type that I bought in eBay. So it's like a little strand like that. And I did that sample there. And this one is 100% cotton. It's the Handicrafter cotton from Bernat. This one is powder, and it have the scent of powder as well, and it's medium 4. And look at the difference. It has the same amount of stitches as this one. The only thing that this one is done with size 7 and this one with size 6, but still look at the difference in size with a different yarn. So I wish I had started my blouse with this one to do a long sleeve, but maybe later I will do one with the same stitch but a long sleeve top for the summer, for the school evening. With cotton is perfect. So the only sample that I have to make is with 100% acrylic, regular medium 4. So I will do my sample with that. And also you can use the Aunt Lydia yarn, but the one that is fine 2 or 3, fine 3, and you still have to use those double because they're very thin. And if you use the size 10, probably you have to do a double or triple the yarn because it's really, really thin, that yarn. So let's start with a little sample. Sorry that I'm talking a lot, but I want to explain a little bit about the different yarn that you can use for this project. You can use for baby blanket. This will be amazing, this stitch. This stitch is multiple of 7 plus 2 without counting any border stitch. So if you want to add border stitch, after you have, let's say, 28 plus 2 serían 30, and then you add the border stitch on each side. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave a little tail. Since I'm gonna cast on 16, I don't want to do any border. For example, this one that I have here, I did 2 motifs, so I did 14 plus 2, 16 plus 2 and 2 on each side was 20 stitches for this little sample. Something that I wanted to explain you as well, I'm sorry I keep talking before I show you the stitch, is if you want to do a baby blanket, I recommend to do a few rows of purl in the right side and purl in the wrong side before you start with a stitch. This stitch right away, you start with a stitch you see in here. You don't do any border before you start any rows. So for a blanket, I do recommend to do around 2 to 3 centimeters of purl stitch, and on each side to do some border stitch, let's say 4 on each side. That will be around the same as the beginning, and when you finish your blanket, you'll do exactly the same. That way it's nice and square, and you have a nice finish all the way around. Okay, that's just in case you want to do a baby blanket. So you're gonna start casting on, and I only gonna do 16. I don't gonna do any border stitch with this one. I just want to show you the stitch. So I'll meet you here when I have my 16. Here I have my 16 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 plus 2, 1 and 2 at the end. So that's 16 stitches for 2 motifs. So I'm gonna do a knot here to secure the stitch, and now we're gonna start our stitch, and this is gonna be the repetition of 4 rows. Every 4 rows you start with row 1, so it's very easy. So you're gonna start right away with a row of net, and for a baby blanket, this acrylic impeccable from Loops and Thread is perfect. So you're gonna do net all the way to the end. And you finish the first row. The second row is purl, so you're gonna purl all your stitches. The way to the end, purl. And this is number 2. And we finish number 2. Now in the third row is where we're gonna do the stitch, but it's very easy. So we're gonna start with 2 net. And this is the right side of the piece, 2 net. Now the next one is a purl, but you have to do a yarn over, and since it's a purl, the next one, you have to bring the yarn to the front, wrap around your needle to create the yarn over, and you're going to do a purl. Now you're going to purl 3 together, the next 3. You're going to do them together, and the next one is a purl. And now the next two are 2 net, but we have to do a yarn over before that net. So since we finish a purl and this is a net, we have the yarn already in the right side to do the yarn over. So you're gonna do a net with the yarn from the front, and when you do the net, you see you're creating the yarn over and your needle. And then you're gonna do another net. And that's the repetition of the stitch. So now again, you're gonna do a yarn over, wrap around the needle because it's a purl the next. You're gonna purl 1, 3 together, purl 1, and the next 2 are net, but we need a yarn over. So from the front, with the yarn from the front, you're gonna come here and do a net, and the last net. And that's the repetition of row 3. So in the description box, I'm gonna leave the stitch, the pattern of the stitch, as best as I can. So with whatever I write in the description box in this, you'll be set to do the stitch, no problem. So the 4th row and last one of the stitch is a purl. So you have to make sure that you do your yarn over, because remember, when you do the 3 together, you are decreasing. So if you don't do a yarn over, you will be decreasing a stitch, plus you don't gonna have these little holes evenly spread. So this was the yarn over, and I come here from this side in and do a purl. And like that, we finish row number 4. Now we're going to start with repetition of row 1. So it's as easy as that. Any beginner can do this beautiful stitch. So in the wrong side is not bad as well. So you can make a scarf with this because it looks nice in the wrong side as well. So now we're going to do row number 1 again. I place these little rubber things on the end. That way it's make less noises. So now we're gonna start again the repetition of row 1, and that was a row on net. So you're gonna net this row. So the next row will be a repetition of row 2. There will be a row of purls. So finish the repetition of row 1. Now you're going to turn your work around and you're going to purl all your stitches. And then in the next row we're going to create the stitch again. So don't get more easy than this. Any beginner can do this stitch. So now we're going to do the repetition of row 3. That is the one that we create this nice design. So you're going to knit 2, And the next one is yarn over and a purl. So the yarn over you have to wrap on your needle, and then you do a purl, and then 3 together and a purl stitch. So you're going to do these 3 together, and then the next one is a purl, and then you have to do a yarn over and 2 net. So since we have already yarn in the front, we're going to do from the front the net and create the yarn over, and then you do the next net, and like that you did your motif. So again, you're going to do a yarn over and a purl, 3 purl together, a purl, yarn over, and 2 nets. Now we're going to do the repetition of row 4, and it's all purl. Sorry about that. It's all purl till the end. So I'll meet you at the end of this row to show you one more time how you're going to do the stitch. I finished that row of purl, so you already start to see the design. So you're going to continue with that repetition of those 4 rows. Now you have to do a row of net, and then a purl, a row of the stitch, and then a row of purl, and so on. Again, we're going to do the repetition of row 1, that's the net row. So you're going to net every single stitch all the way to the end. We're going to start the repetition of row 2, that is a purl row. So you're going to purl every single stitch until the end. Now we're going to start with the repetition of row 3. So you're going to do 2 net, yarn over, 1 purl, 3 purls together, one purl. Now you have to do yarn over and 2 net. So from the front you do your net and you create the yarn over and another net. Again, yarn over, a purl, 3 stitch together and a purl stitch, a purl, yarn over, and 2 net. So again, from the front you're going to net that one and create the yarn over and the last net, and that's the repetition of row 3. Now you have to do the repetition of row 4, that is a purl row. Like this, you're going to continue with the repetition of those 4 rows. So you want to get more length. Row 1 is a net row. Row 2 is a purl row. And in row 3, you're going to do the repetition of what we did in row 3. And then number 4 is a purl row. And like that, you continue until you have the desired length for your piece. Well, this is a very beautiful and very easy stitch that any beginner can do anything with it. Either a blouse, a sweater, a scarf, or hat. So I'm making a beautiful blouse, and I hope you guys like it, and give it a try and a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And if you make this design or any of my design and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Crochet Tejido. Please share my videos with friends and family and in groups. That way you help me grow here on YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye. Something else before I go, I want to show you another beautiful stitch. If I love this one, this other one I absolutely love. I will show you how to do this one after I do this blouse, the tutorial of the blouse. I will show you how to do this stitch and how to use it for a sweater. It's super easy to do, and you see it's absolutely gorgeous. For this one, the stitch is multiple of 7 plus 2, so there are these stitches here. For this one is multiple 11, so the stitch is a little bit longer from half of this to half to the other stitch, but it's the same 4 row repetition, 1 row net, 1 row purl, and row 3 you do the stitch and then a row purl. So it's very easy as well. And to be honest, I thought before I learned how to do this beautiful fantasy stitch that they were very complicated, but yes, they're very easy just to keep track of the rows you're doing, and is to know how to do yarn overs and two together, and that kind of stuff is what make this beautiful fancy stitch easy and gorgeous.